we have to do this. A bit of a hill.
His mother said, if you're coming to school, you got to bring your sister because they have to go and work in the fields. So this kid carries his 1-year-old sister everywhere. A lot of those kids don't eat in the morning. A lot of those kids, the only place they do eat is at that school.
I thought going up that mountain, Mary's meals can reach everywhere that there's a hungry child.
Did you see what happens after a simple meal? It just came to life.
Love reaches everywhere.
Parkview Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walk-in clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit ParkviewSportsMedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Someday, you'll get your knee replaced. Someday, a new hip. Someday can be sooner than you think. At Parkview Ortho Hospital, we want to help you get moving again. So we offer a full range of options for joint pain, including outpatient joint replacements and personalized solutions. It's time to reclaim your life at Parkview Ortho Hospital, because someday is today. Learn more at parkview.com/ortho. Parkview, we believe in better.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcast. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Keep it 100. Thank you.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care, and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to New Haven High School for this edition of High School Girls Basketball on SummitCitySports.com. I'm Thad Goff. Thomas Nolan is on camera, and we've got a matchup between the New Haven Bulldogs and the Bishop Luers Knights, a girls basketball matchup that pits the Northeast 8 against the SAC. Bishop Luers is from the Summit Athletic Conference, and New Haven is from the Northeast 8 Conference. Well, it's been a interesting start to the season for these two teams, you might say. Now, for Bishop Luers, they are coming off a 15-8 season. It's kind of been back and forth for them. They're 6-7 on the season, but they did win their last game. That was against Canterbury. That was at home, 56-19. They win this game, they'll have themselves a little winning streak going, and they will be even record-wise on the season. And it'd be a huge win if they can get it, because they got a big home game coming up against Carroll this coming Friday, January 15th. Carroll has been playing some pretty good basketball this season. New Haven got off to a slow start this year. They lost their first 5. However, they have won their last 2, including a Northeast 8 victory against DeKalb. That was back on Friday night. They beat Fremont in overtime just about a week before that, more like a week and a half before that. 49-42 was the final score there. Bishop Luers, they seem to have success no matter who's coaching. They've had multiple coaches in the last couple of decades, as a matter of fact, who have been able to win state championships. Denny Rainier was the latest example of that. That was back in 2011. And Terry Rosinski won multiple state championships, as did Gary Andrews, who's now the head boys basketball coach at Northside. Mark Pixley is currently the head coach. He is in his 7th season overall. He's 84-71 as far as records go, and hoping to get this team going in the right direction. Again, they've got a big game against Carroll coming up, but if they can get a win before that one and get to 500, that could be a huge confidence boost for this team, not just for the Carroll game, but perhaps for the rest of the season. New Haven is coached by Myquisha Bratton. She is a former assistant coach under Mark Pixley. She spent about 5 years as their assistant coach at Bishop Luers, and she's in her 2nd year as the head coach at New Haven. She's 9-26 overall, and has a chance to get her team closer to 500 if the Bulldogs can get a win tonight. I said they're on a 2-game winning streak. They can make that a 3-game winning streak tonight, get a huge win outside the conference, and then they'll have a huge game inside the conference. Rivalry coming up against Leo this Friday night. Now, Leo, they did get off to a slow start, but Leo is part of the same school district that New Haven is in. It's about 20 minutes, give or take, from New Haven. They both are part of the East Allen County Schools District, both Leo and New Haven. So you could say there's a bit of a rivalry between those schools, if only for that reason and for the fact that they are in the same conference, both members of the NE8. And it'll be 5 days off after they face another Fort Wayne Community Schools team. That'll be Heritage at home about a week from tonight. Well, like 8 days from tonight, actually. That'll be on Wednesday when New Haven faces Heritage. And as I said, slow start to the season to begin this year, but starting to right the ship as things have gone on. And not only is New Haven on a 2-game winning streak, they've won 5 out of their last 7, so they certainly seem to be righting the ship as we get toward the middle point of the season. Actually, we're past the midway point of the season. It won't be long, just less than a month, in fact, before we get to the sectional playoffs. And who knows, we could be looking at some interesting matchups when sectionals come around. Well, we will go ahead and get in a word from our sponsors and allow us to come out and do the many games that we get to do here on SummitCitySports.com. This broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports, like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Kelly Automotive Group is Indiana's #1 automotive group with over 1,000 new vehicles and 500 pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Please visit drivekelly.com. Simple, transparent, and reliable. Tom Steele Tire has been servicing the Fort Wayne area for over 40 years. They will help you to find the perfect tire for your vehicle and other auto repair services like brakes, wheel alignments, engine diagnostics, and more. Big Eyed Fish has been around the Northeast Indiana area for generations. Like their Facebook pages for updated promotions and enjoy the best fish in Fort Wayne in a family-friendly environment at Big Eyed Fish. You're invited to join ProFed Credit Union, where we get to know you to better serve you. Sign up online in 5 minutes or stop by a branch. Join ProFed today and start owning your financial future at profedcu.org. At Ottenwiller Contracting, we invest in our customers by providing peace of mind during the entire process from bid to build. Visit OttenwillerContracting.com for more information. Summit Volleyball trains and builds the highest quality volleyball players in the area. From ages 5 to 18, our players are equipped with elite-level skills and a foundation of life skills. Jump on board. Together, we can reach the summit. Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning is dedicated to providing the best possible solution for your home or business. A system and solution that fits your unique needs. Visit AndersonCoolHeat.com for more information. El Azteca Mexican Restaurant has been a Fort Wayne favorite since 1973. El Azteca Mexican recipes are sure to tantalize your taste buds. Visit elaztecarestaurant.com. That's elaztecarestaurant.com. iCryo specializes in whole-body cryotherapy, as well as body sculpting, cryofacials, infrared sauna, and compression therapy services. Check out Jalen Smith's signature location on Coliseum Boulevard by Blaze Pizza in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Parkview Sports Medicine continues to lead the way in Northeast Indiana. Our specialized sports medicine team offers direct access to physical therapy and sports physicians in our new Parkview Ortho Express Clinic located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse. No referral is needed, which saves you both time and money. Visit ParkviewSportsMedicine.com to learn more. Bishop Luers versus New Haven, a Summit Athletic Conference matchup versus the Northeast 8 matchup, I should say SAC versus NE8 matchup going on. New Haven out of the NE8 and Bishop Luers out of the SAC. It's coming up here in about 7 minutes. We will come right back after this break. You're watching high school basketball here on SummitCitySports.com.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
We are back here at New Haven High School. The Bulldogs set to take on the Knights of Bishop Luers in an interconference battle between the New Haven Bulldogs of the Northeast 8 Conference and the Bishop Luers Knights of the Summit Athletic Conference. There's a few games we'll be keeping an eye on tonight. One of the games that we've got on our network is DeKalb versus Carroll. DeKalb's boys team was here back on Saturday and had a chance to tie the game and force overtime, but Darion Brooks blocked the shot and preserved the victory for New Haven. That boys team is in Carroll tonight, and they've got another tall test ahead of them. Now, Carroll may not have a whole lot of big guys, but they've got plenty of great guards on their team. They've got guys who can shoot, guys who can drive the lane, and, of course, Jalen Jackson, a dynamic point guard. Another game that we'll be watching out for, a game that's already started, is Blackhawk Christian versus Homestead, and Homestead just took the lead on, get this, a Caleb First dunk. Yeah, it's not the first time you'll hear those words come out of somebody's mouth. Caleb First dunks the ball a lot. I'll have the pleasure of seeing the Blackhawk Christian Braves on Saturday when they take on the Bishop Luers boys team. But tonight we got a good one ahead of us, Bishop Luers versus New Haven. And as I mentioned before, Myquisha Bratton, the head coach at New Haven, is a former assistant under head coach Mark Pixley at Bishop Luers. Spent 5 years, I believe it was, on his staff before taking the head job at New Haven. And it's been kind of an up-and-coming start, you might say, ever since Bratton took over as the head coach. She's in her second year. They won 4 games last year in her first year, but they're 5-7. Chance to even up their record if they can win these next 2 games. They got Bishop Luers tonight and then a conference game against Leo coming up on Friday, this coming Friday. And, of course, we got plenty of great basketball for you throughout the week on Summit City Sports. I mentioned Luers versus Blackhawk coming up on Saturday. Also coming up on Saturday, I mentioned that Carroll boys team. They'll be here taking on New Haven. Ryan Dellinger will have that game, and he's got the DeKalb Carroll game tonight. Also have Concordia versus Southside boys. We will have the Concordia girls on Saturday. That Concordia Southside game, by the way, will take place on Friday. And on Saturday, we will have the Concordia girls taking on Mishawaka Marion. Mishawaka Marion had a pretty good team a year ago. So that could certainly be an interesting matchup, but Concordia is off to a great start. New Haven and Dwenger, or rather Luers, both looking to get things closer to even records. Luers would even their record if they win this game tonight. New Haven would pull to 1 game under 500. 6-7 would be their record if they were to win tonight. Now, they've had back-to-back postponements going back to mid-December. They had games against Adams Central and Belmont that were postponed, but they have won their last 2, New Haven has, so certainly things going pretty well for the Bulldogs ever since the Christmas break. We'll be right back as we are getting closer to the start of this game. You're watching high school basketball here on SummitCitySports.com.
We have to do this. A bit of a hill.
His mother said, if you're coming to school, you got to bring your sister because they have to go and work in the fields. So this kid carries his 1-year-old sister everywhere. A lot of those kids don't eat in the morning. A lot of those kids, the only place they do eat is at that school.
I thought going up that mountain, Mary's meals can reach everywhere that there's a hungry child.
You see what happens after a simple meal? It just came to life.
Love reaches everywhere.
Parkview Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walk-in clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit ParkviewSportsMedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Someday, you'll get your knee replaced. Someday, a new hip. Someday can be sooner than you think. At Parkview Ortho Hospital, we want to help you get moving again. So we offer a full range of options for joint pain, including outpatient joint replacements and personalized solutions. It's time to reclaim your life at Parkview Ortho Hospital, because someday is today. Learn more at parkview.com/ortho. Parkview, we believe in better.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Keep it 100. Thank you.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
Well, those were the starting lineups, and we are ready for basketball here on SummitCitySports.com. New Haven versus Bishop Luers, just about ready to tip off. New Haven 5-7. Luers comes in at 6-7. Both teams trying to get closer to 500. Luers, if they win, they will be right at 500, going into a big game against the Carroll Chargers. If New Haven wins, they'll be 5-7, going into a conference game against Leo. Obviously, right now, neither of these teams looking ahead. They're both focused on the task at hand. The tip is won by the Knights of Bishop Luers into the hands of Anna Parent. Parent driving to the basket. Left-hand layup is good. An early bucket for Anna Parent. And the Knights take a 2-0 lead. Around the screen goes Shania Freeman, and we're going to get a traveling call here on Kayla Williams. Well, Williams is the leading scorer. She and Avarcia Nard are the two leading scorers for New Haven. They were the two leading scorers for New Haven last year. They were both averaging double figures then. They're both averaging double figures this year. Here's Parent. She looks inside, kicks it back to the top of the key for Hannah Sweeney. Pass is knocked away and stolen away. Shania Freeman gets in the passing lane. And she brings it across the timeline. Pass is tipped and recovered by Williams. Williams with the lob, kept in play by Nard, but thrown right into the hands of Addie Shank. And that ball's touched out of bounds. It hit the coach's seat. And it's going to be Luers' ball after the ball went out of bounds off of New Haven. Lob into Janiah Bright. Bright takes it across the timeline, finds Bailey. Bailey was one of two key players on last year's Luers team that won 15 games. Here's Parent with the blow by, and she scores. A couple of early buckets for Anna Parent. She's got all four of Luers' points so far. The Knights off to a good start. A lot of the teams in the SAC can give you a good battle, but that's not to say that there aren't teams in the Northeast 8 that can give you a good battle. Norwell had a really good team last year, and I believe they've got a good team this year, if I'm not mistaken. That's a pull-up three from the corner by Ortiz Vaught, and it goes. I think that thing bounced off both the rim and the backboard, and New Haven's on the board. Bright brings it across the timeline, but Bailey just barely caught it. Pass is tipped and taken away. Here's Weekly coming up the floor. Weekly makes a move, gets into the paint, then kicks it out. Three ball is good. Shania Freeman. And the lead right back to New Haven. Actually, their first lead of the game, but quick down the floor is Bright. Her shot off the glass, no good. And New Haven looks to continue their run. Freeman picked up by Bright as she crosses the timeline. Gets it over to Ortiz Vaught. Wide open is Savannah Weekly. Her three, though, won't go. Knocked out of bounds. That's going to stay with the Bulldogs. An early score over at Carroll. They lead DeKalb 2-0. Pass is knocked out of bounds by Hannah Sweeney, and it will stay with the Bulldogs. One foul so far. It's against Bishop Luers. The high inbound, and Williams couldn't get the roll. They go quick down the floor. Parent, no good. Williams grabs the rebound. And here's Freeman coming across the timeline as Mark Pixley just about to dig into his bench. He brings Jayla Fikes over to the scorer's table. Little shot fake there by Ortiz Vaught, and her shot won't go, and it was saved initially, but right off the back of the backboard. So that's going to be out of bounds by default, and Fikes will come into the game. Started off looking like we'd be off and running. 4 points scored by Luers, and then back-to-back threes by New Haven. Scoring is stalled for about the last minute and a half, I believe. Fikes feeds that one over to Bright. Bright will drive into the lane, gets past a defender, and puts it home. Janiyah Bright with a race to the bucket. She's on the board for the first time, and she was a key contributor for these Knights a year ago as well. Now, of course, when you lose players like Lydia Reinbold and Kennedy Glenn, that's a tough ask. Lydia Reinbold was a great scorer for this Bishop Luers team. Here goes Bailey down the floor, lays it in with the left hand, and the foul. Delaney Bailey getting herself a chance at a three-point play. They call the foul on Kaylin Ortiz-Vaught. That's going to be the first team foul against New Haven. And after the Bulldogs had come back with 6 straight points of their own, the Knights answer. Are they going to say that's not on the shot? Oh, wait a second. They initially called that on the shot, I thought. Thought the official said basket's good, but now they give Luers the ball down low, and now they call the foul. Now the scoreboard still reads 8-6. Meanwhile, we get a foul here against the Bulldogs. It's called on Tamara Wade. It's the second team foul, so 2 quick fouls. The first free throw is no good. Now, I'm not sure if the initial signal after that basket was the basket was good. We'll try to check up on that. We get a chance. Second free throw, meanwhile, is good. Scoreboard reads 9-6. And that's what we're going to go with for now. That was Addie Schenk, who went 1 for 2 from the free throw line there. Tamara Wade will back this out. She's got Bright on her. Feed over to Freeman. She fires a 3 and puts it in. It's raining threes for the New Haven Bulldogs. They've got 3 triples already as Bright drives into the lane off the bottom of the glass, bottom of the rim rather, and out of bounds. I think they called a foul on Luers. Nope, I think the ball just went out of bounds. No foul. So New Haven takes over in a tie ball game. They're 3 for 4 shooting threes so far tonight. Screen set by Williams. This is Wade who feeds it over to the corner. A catch and shoot by Vaught, and that's off the mark. Offensive rebound, though. That's pulled down by Freeman. Wade guarded by Bright. She gets it inside to Nard, and Nard is fouled on the way up. Nard, like she took a knock to the nose, but she's going to go to the free throw line. Nard will go to the free throw line. Chance to give New Haven the lead. And her first free throw is good. Avarcia Nard, one of the top scorers on this New Haven team. She's on the board for the first time. Second one on the way, and that one comes up short, but an offensive board. It's blocked, and I think that was Sweeney who blocked it. Pass up the floor for Fikes. Here's a catch and shoot by Bailey. That's no good. Tracked down by Parent, and she finds Sweeney in the corner. Sweeney's 3 won't fall. Back the other way comes Wade, throws it off the leg of a defender, and Bailey comes up with it. She finds Parent. Parent pushing in transition. Has it blocked by Williams. But the putback is good by Hannah Hawkins. Myquisha Bratton was disappointed that they left a player so wide open along the block. That's an easy 2 points. And Bishop Luers takes the lead, 11-10. They get it inside, and Nard was fouled. Little reach around there by Bailey, and that's what's going to get the foul called. It's the third team foul against Luers. And it was not on the shot, so Nard will put it in play. And they get that one into Weekly. Wade, the floater, no. Rebound by Williams, no good. Put back effort by Wade. That's no good. And here's Weekly, kicks it back out to Williams. Williams cut off by Fikes as we're coming up on the 2-minute mark here in the first quarter. Bishop Luers up 11-10. Drive to the basket by Wade. That was contested by Bailey. Loose ball on the deck. Nard throws it right into the hands of Fikes. And here comes Perrin across the timeline. Little one-hand zip to Hawkins. She kicks it back out to Fikes. Fikes couldn't bank it in. That was halfway down, but the putback is good, and that was Fikes who scored the bucket. Jayla Fikes, Johnny on the spot. And New Haven leads, or rather Luers leads it by 3. Parent going after the steal. Got a hand on it, poked it away, and it's out of bounds. 1:35 to go here in this first quarter, and Nard will put it in play for the Bulldogs. She's got Bailey Gardner and gets it in to Wade. Wade gets a screen from Nard, looking to go along the baseline. Wade up and under, and she gets fouled. She'll be going to the line here to shoot 2. They call the foul on Anna Parent. That's the 4th team foul against the Knights. We've got 1:23 left to go here in the first quarter. That free throw rattles home. Tamara Wade on the board for the first time in this game. And the second one is good. And we got a 1-point game. Only thing New Haven hasn't done is they haven't made a shot from inside three-point land, aside from free throws, of course. They haven't made a shot from the field from inside three-point land. Bailey kicks that one out to Fikes. Parent able to reach up and snag that pass. Bailey was thinking about the 3, now uses the baseline, got Wade right on her. The double team comes. Parent launches a 3. It's good! And that's Luers' first 3 of the game, and a Parent from downtown. And we are inside the final minute of the first half, down to first quarter, rather. 42 seconds to go. It's poked away by Parent. Parent waiting for somebody. And stolen right back. And then a foul is called. Parent went to the deck to grab that ball. They're going to call Fikes for that foul, I think. It is on Fikes. Parent was in a precarious situation there. She went down to the deck to grab that ball, and she knew she couldn't get up. That would have been traveling. Had to wait until somebody came across the timeline and got open. Wade was thinking about it. Now feeds it over to Freeman. We're down to 20 seconds left in the quarter. Bailey comes out to contest. Freeman cut off by Bailey. Freeman now gets by Bailey. Bailey able to stay with her. Going after the steal. She's got it. Feeds it into the hands of Sweeney. Up the floor for Parent. Stolen away by Nard. And the ball goes out of bounds. Look for a moment like Luers might have a transition bucket off that turnover. But it remains 16-12 as we go to our first break, end of the first quarter here on SummitCitySports.com.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
16-12 as we are set to begin the second quarter here on SummitCitySports.com. Meanwhile, they're at halftime at Homestead. I believe Homestead has a 35-32 lead over Blackhawk Christian. So we'll try to get the score of the DeKalb-Carroll game. Have it when we get it to you. By the way, on that foul earlier in the game, the reason that they counted the basket was because, I believe it was Bailey who scored the basket, but the reason they counted the basket was because the foul occurred after the shot. And since it was after the shot, Luers kept the possession, and this ball goes out of bounds, and New Haven will keep the possession here. .7:48 to go here in the second quarter. And we do have a score from that Carroll game. They lead DeKalb 21-12. High inbound here to Kayla Williams. Swings it back up top. That shot is blocked. Hannah Sweeney, and then her pass stolen right back. Savannah Weekly with the takeaway, and then Sweeney pokes it away from behind into the hands of Bailey. And that's Williams going after it. And a jump ball. Check that. That was Wade who went after it. The possession arrow will keep it with Luers. A scrappy game being played here in East Allen County. Bright brings this one across the timeline, gets the screen from Parent, and feeds that one over to Fikes. Bright with the kick out to Parent. Contested three, left it short. And the rebound pulled down by Nard. Nard racing down the floor. Little sidestep and a foul. Well, that'll be the 6th-team foul against Luers. They're one away from putting New Haven in the penalty. That one was on the shot. So Avarcia Nard will head to the free throw line. Got 7:03 to go in the first half. That first free throw comes up a little bit short. Hannah Hawkins has checked into the game, giving Janiah Bright a breather. And the second one rattles in. New Haven is within 3 of Arcia Nard, a double-digit scorer. She's been held to just 2 points so far in the game. Pass is knocked away. It was recovered, though, by Hawkins. Fikes was looking for a screen, never got one, then gets it to Sweeney on the baseline. Bailey fires a 3. That's no good. Rebound grabbed by Fikes, and she gets fouled. Coach Bratton was not happy about that. They call the foul on Shania Freeman. That's just the 3rd-team foul against the Bulldogs. And the first free throw splashes home. Jayla Fikes on the board for the first time in this game. Second one, no good. Battle for the rebound. Sweeney has it. Sweeney trying to get inside. She had Parent running right through the paint. And that one goes over the head and the outstretched arm of Fikes and out of bounds. Again, Summit City Sports will be right back here at New Haven on Saturday when the New Haven boys team takes on Carroll. Carroll's leading 29-16. They get Nard wide open underneath, her first bucket of the game. First bucket from the field, that is. Nard had a couple of points from the free throw line, but for a good player, at any moment they could get going. Fikes will back this thing out. Looks to attack against Freeman. Off the glass, no. And the rebound hauled down by Williams. Wade comes across the timeline, a little behind the back dribble. Floats it up off the glass, no. Williams going after it, or rather Wade going after it. Bailey thought she had a chance at the steal. Instead, Ortiz-Vaught comes away with the ball. Wade, the blow-by, contested shot, no good. Parent got a piece of it, and she rebounded the ball, but she had a foot on the line. We have a timeout, meanwhile, a full timeout called by Bishop Luers, and we'll take one right along with them here on SummitCitySports.com.
I choose to do whole body cryotherapy after practices, games, and training. It reduces inflammation in my muscles and allows me to move more agile throughout my profession. I became a believer in iCryo after my severe injury in college at Notre Dame, tore my ACL, and I was looking for ways to recover, ways to get back on the field. So I'm thankful for iCryo.
17-15, Bishop Luers on top of New Haven. It's been a back-and-forth game. New Haven started off the game hitting 3 triples. They had the game tied at 9 for a brief moment. Right now, New Haven has a chance to tie it again or take the lead with a 3 as Avarcia Nard is set to put it in play for the Bulldogs. She lobs it into the hands of Williams. Williams picked up her dribble and then gave it back to Ortiz-Vaught. Wade has Hawkins guarding her. Looks to make a move on her. Drives to the paint. Kicks that one out. Freeman is short on the 3. And the rebound is grabbed by Nard. She gets double-teamed and then throws it off the leg of Addie Shank. Nard ready to put it in play. We've got less than 5 minutes to go. And that's Freeman who catches the inbound. She's got Sweeney on her. Drive to the basket by Wade. Pull-up jumper, that's no good. That was Freeman who took the shot. Nard with the board. Put-back effort, no. Gets her own miss. Puts it back up. That's no good. And it's saved along the baseline. Parent feeds it up the floor to Shank. 1-on-1, and Shank couldn't get the roll. Tipped out right back to Freeman. Wade comes back across the timeline. She's picked up defensively by Parent. Swings it inside. That's to Ortiz-Vaught. Parent going for the steal. I tell you what, Anna Parent is playing some scrappy basketball tonight. That one goes off the hands of Shank and out of bounds. So New Haven gets another chance. Nard to put it in play. Less than 4 minutes to go. She finds Williams. Williams has it blocked. And a foul going to be called on Anna Parent. They call the foul on Delaney Bailey. I thought it was Parent initially, but instead they call Bailey for the foul. That's her second, 7th team foul. And it would be 1-1 had it not been on the shot. Instead, Williams goes to the line, and she'll get another chance despite the miss. Williams able to sink the second free throw, and we got a 1-point game. Kayla Williams, by the way, leading scorer for New Haven coming into this game. That was her first point of the night. hasn't yet scored from the field. We still got a lot of basketball to be played with 3:56 still on the clock. Here's Parent off the fake. Parent could not keep her dribble. Williams rips it away, and a jump ball. Possession arrow will give it to New Haven. .356 to go in this second quarter. Bulldogs with a chance to take the lead. 17-16 in favor of Luers. Nard has it ripped away. Sweeney came up with a loose ball. They find Parent along the baseline. Parent uses the baseline, has it tipped and knocked away. Shot no good. That's Nard who comes up with it. She and Williams were in the area when that shot went up. And then Nard able to score in transition, and that gives New Haven the lead. Avarcia Nard got off to a slow start, but she's got 6 points now with 3:14 to go. Tough shot, no good. Nard taps the rebound right to Williams. And they'll let Tamara Wade bring it across the timeline. Wade has it tipped. That one went off the hands of Williams. And then Weekly with the recovery. Couldn't get it to go. And Williams able to recover. Williams on the drive into the paint. Left-hand shot. It's good. Kayla Williams with her first made bucket from the field. And New Haven extends their lead to 3. And now a timeout going to be called by head coach Mark Pixley. Going to be just a 30-second timeout. We will stay with you for this particular timeout and show you some of the last couple of plays that have taken place and some big-name players coming up with buckets lately. And a Parent shot looked like it might have been tipped there. Tough to tell, but Avarcia Nard came up with the rebound and just able to get the shooter's touch there. And then moments later, Kayla Williams able to get on the board for the first time tonight, add to that New Haven lead. Give you a look at that here as well. Shot wouldn't go. Williams able to get the ball tipped out her direction. And then her left-hand shot was good. That gave New Haven a 3-point lead, and that's where we stand, 20-17. Those replays brought to you by Traction Athletic Performance. Sweeney gets it in. 2:22 and counting to go in this first half. That's Bright. Feeds it over to Hawkins. A baseline drive by Schenk. Bright trying to split defenders, and she puts it in. Janiyah Bright able to find the bucket. And for Bright, she's got 4 points in the game. I believe she's the leading scorer for Luers in this particular matchup. There's an open three by Freeman, but it's off the mark. Williams chases down the rebound. Gets it back out to Freeman. Freeman will drive to the basket this time, but once again, her shot off the mark. Offensive rebound comes to Weekly. Weekly puts it home. The stick-to-itiveness by the Bulldogs. But right back down the floor come the Knights, and Fikes is a little strong there on the layup attempt. And Wade comes the other way. Wade will back it out as Luers did a good job getting back defensively. Wade off the glass, and then a foul is called. It's going to be over the back against New Haven. They'll call the foul on Savannah Weekly. That's her first, fourth team foul against New Haven. Luers has committed 7 fouls in the game. Already put New Haven in the penalty. New Haven still with a couple of fouls to give. Bright slows it down. Little sidestep dribble. And then feeds that one off to Schenk. Couldn't get it to go. Second try wouldn't go either. Nard with the rebound. And back the other way comes Wade. 22-19 your score. Wade gets it across the timeline. She's picked up by Jayla Fikes. Oh, she was awful close to that timeline, and then she gets fouled. They're going to call the foul on Fikes. It's a reach-in foul. That's the 8th team foul. It's not on the shot, so this will be 1-1. It's only the second foul of the game on Fikes. 37.9 to go here in this first half. And the free throw too strong. Offensive rebound, Nard puts it back up. They wave it off. She traveled. When we reach halftime, we'll update you on some of the other games that are going on here in Allen County. And there are a couple of note as Bright brings us across the timeline. Bright feeds that one over to Bailey. A catch and shoot by Bailey. That's no good. Williams with the rebound. Wade will bring this one across the timeline. We're down to 15 seconds on the first half clock. We're going to be at halftime here shortly, and New Haven looks like they're holding for the final shot of the half. They want this to be a 5-point lead or a 6-point lead. Williams wants 6. Couldn't hit the 3, though. Bright, I don't think she got that one off. They're going to say she did, but it did not go. I tell you, it was close, but in the end, no points awarded for Luers. Not on that shot, at least, but they're still in this game. New Haven with a 3-point lead at halftime. We'll go ahead and update you on some of those scores of games that are going on. Still a close one over at Homestead. Homestead leads Blackhawk Christian 49-37. They've just started the second half over there. There's about 7.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. And we'll try to get you an update on that DeKalb-Carroll game as soon as we can. When I last saw, Carroll was leading big time. In fact, I think they were up 38-16 at one point. We'll try to get you a more official update when we get a chance to. But for now, we'll go ahead and go in and get a word from our sponsors at Parkview Sports Medicine, one of our main sponsors here on SummitCitySports.com. At Parkview Sports Medicine, it is game on. We serve every level of athlete with our integrated sports medicine team, including the region's only specialized athletic rehab facility. Learn more about our services by logging on to ParkviewSportsMedicine.com. Well, as I said, we are at halftime. New Haven leading Bishop Luers 22-19 here at New Haven High School. We'll be right back after this break here on SummitCitySports.com.
About the place that it put us, and the quarantine hit, and we knew we had guys that were going to work hard at home, but just the idea that we could get a lot of them together working hard at a location with people that know what they're doing was really beneficial. And I think that training did a great job for those guys to kind of get the ball rolling for them, and they came back in the end of June, early July, and it's like they hadn't missed a beat. They were flexible, they were fast, and ready to lift and run and start playing football, so it was a huge benefit for us.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Someday, you'll get your knee replaced. Someday, a new hip. Someday can be sooner than you think. At Parkview Ortho Hospital, we want to help you get moving again. So we offer a full range of options for joint pain, including outpatient joint replacements and personalized solutions. It's time to reclaim your life at Parkview Ortho Hospital, because someday is today. Learn more at parkview.com/ortho. Parkview, we believe in better.
22-19, New Haven leads Bishop Luers at halftime. We'll go ahead and get in one more word from our sponsors that allow us to come out and do these games that we get to do here on SummitCitySports.com. Parkview Sports Medicine is the area's largest integrated sports medicine team. They specialize in serving every level of athlete, no matter if they're trying to get better at what they do or recovering from an injury. Our experts coordinate your care in state-of-the-art facilities in our community. To start your journey, visit us at parkviewsportsmedicine.com. Well, it's been a close game all the way through, and these teams are playing some scrappy basketball, going after steals, going after loose balls, trying to create turnovers and create opportunities for their teams. We've seen both Luers and New Haven do it, especially Anna Parent. She's gone after a number of potential turnovers for that Bishop Luers team. You certainly have to love it when players hustle after loose balls, but every now and then that can get you into some difficult situations, and it did with Anna Parent earlier in this game. She dove to the ground to grab a ball off the floor and did not get up. It was a smart decision on her part because it would have been traveling had she done so, but obviously you need to wait for your teammates to come near the ball. You always love it when athletes are hustling after loose balls and trying to create turnovers for their team. Like I said, 22-19 the score. It started off with Luers hitting back-to-back buckets and made it 4-0, and then New Haven went on to hit 3 threes. Hit three of their first 4 threes in the game. They had it tied at 9-9, and now, like I said, they lead it 22-19. Go ahead and tell you who the top scorers are in this particular game. Top scorer for Luers is Anna Parent. She's got 11 points in the game. She's got 7 points in the game. Not far behind her is Janiah Bright with 4. Jayla Fikes, Hannah Hawkins, and Delaney Bailey each with 2 apiece. Leading scorers for New Haven are Avarcia Nard with 6 and Shania Freeman with 2. Kayla Williams and Kaylin Ortiz-Vaught have 3 apiece. Tamara Wade has 2. And before we go any further, we will get in one more word from our sponsors at Parkview Sports Medicine. At Parkview Sports Medicine, it is game on. We are the region's largest integrated sports medicine team, providing athletes with specialized services from improving their performance to recovering from injuries. To learn more, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com. 22-19 in New Haven's favor. We'll be right back after this break here on SummitCitySports.com.
We have to do this. A bit of a hill. His mother said, if you're coming to school, you got to bring your sister because they have to go and work in the fields. So this kid carries his 1-year-old sister everywhere. A lot of those kids don't eat in the morning. A lot of those kids, the only place they do eat is at that school.
I thought going up that mountain, Mary's meals can reach everywhere that there's a hungry child.
Do you see what happens after a simple meal? It just came to life.
Love reaches everywhere.
Parkview Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walk-in clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit parkviewsportsmedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Someday, you'll get your knee replaced. Someday, a new hip. Someday can be sooner than you think. At Parkview Ortho Hospital, we want to help you get moving again. So we offer a full range of options for joint pain, including outpatient joint replacements and personalized solutions. It's time to reclaim your life at Parkview Ortho Hospital, because someday is today. Learn more at parkview.com/ortho. Parkview, we believe in better.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcast. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Keep it 100. Thank you.
And we are ready for the start of the second half here at New Haven High School. By the way, there's about just over 2 minutes to go at Homestead. Homestead leads Blackhawk Christian 64-56 in boys basketball. It's become a big rivalry, especially with the First versus Goody showdown. Now, those two play different positions. This ball's knocked away from behind. That's Weekly who got a hand on it. And it will stay with the Knights as they try to get this to a 1-point game or maybe even tie it with a 3. Parent had Bright cutting across, throws in a long pass, and it's snatched by Nard, and then she gets fouled. Meanwhile, they're in the third quarter at Carroll. The Chargers lead DeKalb 40-19. DeKalb's boys team was here back on Saturday, and they suffered a tough loss, a game that they had a chance to come back and win against New Haven. But Darion Brooks blocked the shot in the closing seconds to seal the victory for New Haven. This ball goes out of bounds. Luers takes over. I just mentioned Homestead. They've got a big 6'5", 6'6" thereabout guard and Luke Goody. The New Haven boys team has their own big, tall guard. Actually, Darion Brooks is listed as a small forward, but has the ability to play the shooting guard position. He's about 6'4". And he had a pretty good game when the boys hosted DeKalb on Saturday. They'll be hosting Carroll this coming Saturday. Ryan Dellinger will have the call there. That shot is no good. Battle for the rebound, and it's won by Freeman, an offensive board for the Bulldogs. This New Haven girls team will take on Leo this coming Friday. That'll be a conference game, a game between FWCS foes. The lob inside for Nard off the glass. And that ball goes out of bounds. Luers takes over. Now I'll have the pleasure of seeing Blackhawk Christian this coming Saturday. They'll be taking on Bishop Luers, and by the looks of things, they'll be looking for a bounce-back win. Looking to take it out on the defending SAC champs in boys basketball. The Luers girls basketball team has had plenty of success in their own right. Multiple state championships. Denny Rainier, Terry Rosinski, Gary Andrews, they've all led the Knights to state championships as Bright gets fouled on the inside. Gary Andrews actually won 3 straight state championships during his tenure at Bishop Luers. He's now the head coach of the boys team at Northside High School. They picked up a win against Wayne this past Friday. It was their 4th win of the season. That tops the combined win total from the last 2 years for Northside, as Bright couldn't get that free throw to go. Nobody scored yet here in the second half. We're about 1 minute and 9 seconds into the half. And that free throw is good. There's your first point of the half as Janiah Bright is able to put it home. She's got 5 points in the game. And we get a foul away from the ball against New Haven. That's going to go on Williams. Not sure if she maybe lowered the shoulder or the elbow into Sweeney there, but they call her for the foul. That's the first foul of the half against the Bulldogs, and here comes Bright across the timeline. Bright feeds that one over to Anna Parent. Parent kicks that one back outside to Bright. She feeds it inside. Addie Shank has it knocked away. Sweeney rips it away. Pass outside for Parent. Parent will fire a 3-ball. That's no good. And that one goes off the hands of Hannah Sweeney and out of bounds. Bright lobs it into Parent. Parent slows it down. And she gives that one up to Sweeney. Only 1 point scored so far in the half. Nearly turned over. Luers was able to prevent that. They had Shank posting up down low. Nard was fronting her, and she still is. In fact, she and Williams are both double-teaming her. Little step-back jumper there by Sweeney. That's no good. Kayla Williams comes down with the rebound. Wade just barely gets it into the hands of Weekly. Weekly loses the ball. Bright had the takeaway, and now she's got the loose ball. They feed it up the floor for Anna Parent, and an easy bucket for Parent to tie the game, and that is going to prompt a timeout, I believe, by the Bulldogs. It's a full timeout. And for Anna Parent, that puts her up to 9 points in the game. We'll give you a look at our latest replay brought to you by Traction Athletic Performance. Here's a look at it. Anna Parent looked like she's the one who caused the steal initially. Then Bright just had to stick with it. And Parent gets up the floor and finishes underneath. That's the first made field goal of the second half for either team. Anna Parent, well, she can not only score the basketball, she plays great defense. She hustles after loose balls. You can tell by watching her, she is one player who gives 110% out there on the court. She's a junior, and I'm sure that head coach Mark Pixley will be glad to have her back, if in fact that is the case. She does stand to return for one more year of high school basketball, and she just tied the game moments ago at 22 apiece. We've got 5:44 left to go here in the third quarter. Hope to get you an update on that DeKalb Carroll game in just a moment. Also, we'll update you on the Blackhawk Christian Homestead game in a little bit. But right now, we've got 5:44 to play in the third quarter here at New Haven. At New Haven High School, they have played host to multiple playoff tournaments. They've hosted semi-state cross-country the last number of years. Last year, they had to host at Huntington University's cross-country course. There's a drive to the basket by Tamara Wade. And she gets the Bulldogs' first points of the second half. They take the lead. That was Nard who went down after the shot, and Nard looks like she's in some pain. Well, the reason for the ovation is because she was able to get to her feet, but this is not a leg injury of any kind. She looked like she landed on her jaw. I tell you what, I hope this isn't serious. He's got the trainer taking a look at her right now. The feed over to Sweeney. She looks to get it inside. Williams doing a good job guarding Shank, but they get it to Shank. Knocked away by Nard from behind. Freeman pushing down the floor. No good. Bright with the rebound. Able to keep control. She wanted to go fast. New Haven doing a good job, though, getting back on defense. Bright has it poked away, but that's a foul. Coach Bratton not happy about that one. They'll call the foul on Wade. It's the third team foul against New Haven this second half. 4:57 to go in the third quarter. Bright finds Fikes wide open. She puts it home. Jayla Fikes with her second made shot from the field. Full court pressure, and Wade does get it across the timeline. Using the baseline, Parent guards her, and I think she altered that pass, or altered that shot rather, and here comes Fikes down the floor. Her shot is good. Transition bucket for Jayla Fikes, and the Knights take the lead. That's back-to-back buckets for Jayla Fikes. And Fikes almost stole that one away, but they find Williams on the interior, and it's blocked by Parent. She knocks it out of bounds, though. It's going to stay with the Bulldogs. Well, they have gone final in Homestead. The Spartans defeat Blackhawk Christian 72-60. Homestead's now 13-0 on the season. That's the first loss of the year for Blackhawk Christian. They're 10-1. Backing it out is Wade. She's got Bright guarding her. And they work that one over to Freeman. Tough shot off the glass, no good. Fikes had the board ripped away by Nard, left it short. Williams couldn't put it home. Put back, no good. Nard with the rebound. The possession continues, and Nard finishes it off. A long possession, but the Bulldogs make the most of it. The feed inside, turnaround shot by Shank, no good. And now New Haven with a chance to take the lead. 26-all. Backing out is Wade. Wade looks to drive, puts up the floater. That's no good. Addie Shank with the rebound, and back the other way comes Bright. Feeds it up the floor. That's Fikes. No good on the shot. Battle for the loose ball, won by Bright. Bright trying to take it all the way, and left it a little bit too long. Wade backs it out. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. And that's nearly stolen. I think Parent might have actually tipped that one. Loose ball. Williams recovers. Tough shot, and she's fouled. And Kayla Williams will head to the free throw line. By the way, the score from Carroll is now 54-24. Carroll over DeKalb. They're in the third quarter. That Carroll team is dangerous. That's the Carroll boys team, by the way, and they're coming in here on Saturday. Ryan Dellinger, who is over there for the Chargers game tonight, he'll be here to see the Chargers as they take on the Bulldogs. One of the tough tasks for them will be figuring out how to guard Darion Brooks. He's a 6'4", small forward who can shoot the basketball, can drive to the basket, as Kayla Williams is able to give New Haven the lead. A low-scoring night for Kayla Williams. She's a double-digit scorer. That pass goes off the hands of Sweeney, but she's able to recover. Over to Fikes. She gets it inside to Shank. Off the glass, no good. And Avarcia Nard is there for the rebound. We've got 2.5 minutes to go here in this third quarter. A 27-26 lead for New Haven. They're trying to build on it. A step-back three by Nard. That's off the mark. And Sweeney with the rebound. Bright feeds it up the floor to Fikes. One dribble, one shot, and that's no good. Nard up the floor. Poked from behind by Sweeney. And then Bright gets fouled by Nard. That'd be the fourth team foul against New Haven. Now that's Shank taking a breather. And the Knights take over after, again, the fourth team foul against New Haven. This one called on Avarcia Nard. It's her first. Bright comes across the timeline. They go inside looking for Fikes. She's double teamed and the ball goes out of bounds. I think she threw that off a New Haven player. And a parent to put it in play. She lofts it. Bright able to catch it. Gets to the bucket. No good. Shania Freeman comes down with the rebound. Wade steps back. She's got Janiah Bright on her. We've got a minute and a half to play here in the third quarter. A catch and shoot by Freeman, and it's good from downtown. A contested three by Freeman. And a 4-point lead for New Haven. Shania Freeman with her third three of the game. She's up to 9 points. New Haven gets the stop there. They've got a chance to score with perhaps under a minute to play. Right now we're down to 102. That floater no good by Wade and rebounded by Parent. Parent lofts it up the floor for Sweeney. Sweeney, tough shot, no good. Rebound grabbed by Williams. Williams racing down the floor. The floater, no good. Parent trying to rip away the board, and we're going to get a foul called, I think. No, looks like a jump ball. Possession arrow is going to keep it with New Haven. And Avarcia Nard will put it in play for the Bulldogs. She lofts it to Williams through her hands, but she recovers. Got 40 seconds to play in the quarter. Wade picked up by Bright. She's looking for Freeman. And we're down to 25 seconds on the clock. Freeman wants to go baseline. Loose ball. Parent's got it. And here comes Sweeney across the floor. The lob to Bright, knocked away. Who's got the ball? Battle for it on the floor, and that's going to be a jump ball. That'll give it back to the Knights with 9.7 to go. Got a chance to get a bucket here before the quarter comes to an end, as Delaney Bailey will check into the game. Inbound to Bailey. Bailey kicks it back out and looks like she was fouled before the pass. Was not in the act of shooting. That'd be the 15th foul against New Haven, so no free throws coming up just yet. It's going to stay with Bishop Luers with 5.9 to go. Bailey looking to put it in play. Call it on Williams. Bailey inbounds it to Fikes, and that's knocked away. Ball out of bounds. It's going to stay with Luers. 2.7 on the clock. That was Savannah Weekly who went after the loose ball and knocked it out. They get it in to Bright. Bright has to get it off. Less than a second to go. She didn't get it off. So that is how the third quarter comes to an end. New Haven with the lead, 30-26. Back after this break on SummitCitySports.com. 30-26, New Haven with the lead over Luers. We've got 1 quarter of basketball left to be played. Who knows, we may go into overtime. Becoming a theme of fun basketball games here at New Haven. We had a game, came down to the final seconds in the 4th quarter on Saturday. That was a boys' game. New Haven eked out a victory over DeKalb. Darion Brooks blocked the would-be game-tying shot. Williams, tough shot, trying to put it off glass. She fights for the rebound, tips it out to her own teammate. I think that was Wade. And coming down with the loose ball was Bailey. Knocked out of bounds, Luers ball. 7:37 to go. And a little chuckles exchanged between the referee and head coach Mike Bratton, I beg your pardon. It's Bratton. That's how her last name is spelled. They feed that one off to Hawkins. Hawkins feeds it over to Bailey. Passes, tipped, and Williams comes up with it. Williams racing across the floor, into the paint, off the hands of Wade. Ball is knocked away, and then pulled back by Freeman. Wade lost control of the pass, and it goes out of bounds. .709 to go, and Luers takes over. Nobody scored yet here in the 4th quarter. Sweeney feeds that one over to Hawkins. They were trying to get it inside to Sweeney. And Apparent, by the way, getting a breather right about now. They get it inside to Shank. Shank off the glass. And Luers is able to get the first bucket of the half, or the quarter, rather. And Addie Shank with her first points of the game. Bright guarding Wade. Bright goes after the steal, but knocks it out of bounds. I think Coach Bratton was arguing that there should have been a foul called there. Her team does get possession of the ball, though. 6:25 and counting to go here in the game. A close one, 30-28. A drive to the basket by Freeman. No good. That's Bailey who comes down with the board. Trying to get it to Shank. And she throws it a little bit too far for her. Wade will bring this one across the timeline for the Bulldogs. Bright picks her up. Wade gets it across the timeline. Using the baseline. Floater off the glass. Pass is tipped in the air and recovered by Nard. Nard takes it to the bucket. And New Haven's able to answer. Nard is up to 10 points for the game. Bailey, with very little space there, tried to get it in off the glass. And are we going to get a foul here or a jump ball? It's a jump ball. Possession arrow will keep it with Luers. Bright looking to put it in play. She finds Bailey. Bailey using the paint. Left-hand shot. It's good. It curls in around the rim. Delaney Bailey up to 4 points for the Knights. Bulldogs get it across the timeline. That's Williams. Weekly with the pull-up J. And that's no good. Loose ball. Out of bounds. Luers ball. And now they have a chance to tie it with 5:15. Meanwhile, Anna Parent is back in the ball game. Did not start the 4th quarter in this game, but she is back in off the bench. She was a starter for this game, but was not in right at the beginning of the 4th quarter. A high screen set by Addie Shank. Bright with the blow-by. Couldn't finish. Seen a few of those tonight. The players had a good look but couldn't finish. But there's Bright with a steal. Drives to the basket all alone, and she puts it in, and the game is tied. Janiyah Bright doing it all by her lonesome. And a timeout called by Mike Bratton. It's going to be a full timeout. Meanwhile, for Janiah Bright, she's up to 7 points for the game. And while we have a chance, we'll go ahead and take a look at most recent play she made. Well, you want an idea of how to bounce back from a missed shot. This was right after Janiah Bright missed a shot on a blow-by attempt, but this time she gets the steal and makes the most of the opportunity she gets. In fact, not only did she get that opportunity, she gave herself that opportunity by going after that steal. She got the steal and puts it in to tie the game at 32 apiece. Be right back after this break here on SummitCitySports.com. Those replays, by the way, are brought to you by Traction Athletic Performance.
There are tons of benefits to using compression therapy, but my favorite are speeding up muscle recovery, reducing swelling and inflammation, and improving my athletic performance.
Tied at 32. It is a dogfight here at New Haven High School, and I'm not just saying that because New Haven's mascot is the Bulldogs. It is a close game. Both teams have been scrappy, going after loose balls, and they're going to say that Wade stepped on the timeline. That's over and back. Now, we'll get a quick look at it here on the Traction AP replay. See, does she step back on the timeline? Yes, she does. Good call by the official, and we remain tied at 32 apiece. A long three by Bailey. That one's short. And Bright chases down the rebound. Feeds it over to Parent. Parent looking inside for Bailey. Instead, she goes outside to Shank. Feed inside to Parent, one-on-one. And Parent gets fouled. She'll go to the line. Her assistant coach, I believe that's Mary Hathaway, with some words for her there. The varsity coaching staff includes obviously head coach Mark Pixley as well as Mary Hathaway and Tanisa Merriman. The free throw is good by Parent, and Luers takes the lead. And Parent is up to 10 points. She leads all Luers scorers. Her second free throw would not fall. It is a lead for Luers, but here comes Nard down the floor. Nard drives to the basket, tough shot, and she's fouled. And now Nard is in a whole lot of pain. They're going to call the foul on Bright. And Nard looks like she's probably going to try and shoot these free throws despite the pain. She'll take a moment to catch her breath, it looks like. And now she walks a little gingerly to the line. And she's got a chance to tie this game. Well, Nard has taken some hard hits tonight, but she's able to hit the first free throw. I was going to say she's taken some hard hits, but it certainly hasn't shaken her confidence. Second one good as well, and the lead for New Haven. Varsia Nard, though she took a hard fall there, she gets both free throws and gives New Haven the lead. Feed over to Fikes. This is Bright looking inside. She had Parent on the opposite block. Now they get it to her out of the three-point line. Parent on the drive, no good. Battle for the loose ball, picked up by Wade, and she finds Nard. Nard racing across the timeline. Slows down to the three-point line. Parent going for the steal. It's a jump ball. Possession arrow is going to give this one back to New Haven. Well, Nard grabbing her left elbow as she comes out of that pile. Well, she's going to stick this out. And she's going to be the one to inbound the ball. The lob, they get it into Williams. Just over the outstretched arm of the defender, and Williams scores. New Haven adds to their lead. They're up 3. Williams now with 6 points in the game. A catch and shoot by Bailey on the other end. No good. Nard almost came out with it. Loose ball on the deck. Who's got it? Luers does. Parent almost got up off the floor and then turns it over. It was stolen away by Freeman. Wade catches the tip ball. Loses her dribble. She's going to be called for traveling. She was trying to bobble that ball as she took her steps. Or should say, she wasn't trying to bobble the ball. She was bobbling the ball. And Parent's going to put this one in play. Bright able to handle it. Wade almost got the steal. Bright racing across the timeline. That's double dribble. She picked up her dribble and then started dribbling again. And well, there is a fire from Myquisha Brighton after that. She is a passionate head coach, no doubt about that. And Nard puts it in play. Looked like Freeman had a chance to get to the basket, but she takes the 3 anyway and knocks it down. That's 4 threes in the game for Freeman. Ball knocked out of bounds by, that's Wade on the other end. She goes running up the stands for a brief moment. That's what happened. Her momentum took her out of bounds. We got a full timeout here, and we're going to take a quick break. You're watching high school basketball on SummitCitySports.com.
I choose to do whole body cryotherapy after practices, games, and training. It reduces inflammation in my muscles and allows me to move more agile throughout my profession. I became a believer in iCryo after my severe injury in college at Notre Dame, tore my ACL, and I was looking for ways to recover, ways to get back on the field. So I'm thankful for iCryo.
39-33, New Haven with the lead, trying to close out a victory and go to 6-7. They've got a big conference game against Leo coming up on Friday. That's a game on the road, a matchup between 2 Northeast State opponents. Now, Leo, I believe, is off to a slow start. I'll see another Northeast State team tomorrow night. That's Norwell going to be taking on Bishop Dwenger. That'll be at Dwenger High School in Fort Wayne. Of course, Norwell is located in Ossian, Indiana, part of northern Wells County, hence the name Norwell. The fake by Parent. She's picked up by Nard. Was looking for the step back. Instead, kicks that one out to Bright. Feed inside to Parent. Left-hand shot. It's good. Big bucket by Anna Parent as we are in the closing minutes. 2.5 to go. Anna Parent is up to 12 points. That's a catch-and-shoot 3 by Freeman. No good. Nard going out to the loose ball. New Haven keeps it. Myquisha Bratton, no doubt fortunate, no doubt happy that that's going to be Bulldogs basketball. It was a close one. Nard to put it in play. She gets it in, loose ball. Parent came up with it, and she was fouled. And that's the 7th team foul against New Haven. That'll send Parent to the line for 1-1. They call it on Nard. The official explaining things to Coach Broughton. And Anna Parent will go to the free throw line. She has been a scrappy player. She doesn't give up on plays. She goes after loose balls. No doubt she can score. She's got 12 points in this particular game. But she's got a 1-1 to deal with here. She missed the front end. Offensive rebound by Sweeney. Ripped out and into the hands of Wade. She's picked up by Parent. Nard gets it across the timeline. Swings it across the floor. Freeman, a contested three, and that one comes up short. Bailey running out with it, and she gets fouled. One-on-one coming. Should say 1-and-1 coming for Delaney Bailey. Delaney Bailey, one of the top scorers coming into this game. She's averaging 10.3 points per game on the season. Janiah Bright also averaging 10.3. They are the two leading scorers on this season. And the free throw is no good. Another front-end free throw missed, but Shank grabs the rebound, and Fikes able to put it in. Jayla Fikes makes it a 2-point game. And a timeout has been taken by New Haven with 1:53 to go. That's going to leave them with one timeout. And we're going to take a break right along with them here on SummitCitySports.com.
I choose to do whole body cryotherapy after practices, games, and training. It reduces inflammation in my muscles and allows me to move more agile throughout my profession. I became a believer in iCryo after my severe injury in college at Notre Dame, tore my ACL, and I was looking for ways to recover, ways to get back on the field. So I'm thankful for iCryo.
39-37. We got a ball game with 1:53 to play here on Summit City Sports. New Haven with the lead. They've got the ball. Avarcia Nard to put it in play for the Bulldogs, and she gets that one into Wade. Wade across the timeline. She's picked up by Sweeney. That's a mismatch, but Wade gets by her and puts it home. Big bucket for Tamara Wade. She's up to 6 points for the game. Bright gets by Wade and finds Fikes. Still a minute and a half to go. Bailey along the baseline. Spins away. Bright left open for three. She'll fire. No good. Bright trying to get her own rebound. Instead, it's grabbed by Weekly. Wade across the timeline, off the glass, and she's fouled. Addie Shank is called for the foul. That's her second. Only the fourth against Luers this half. But Wade could not hit the free throw. The second free throw is good. And New Haven with a 5-point lead as Tamara Wade goes 1 for 2. Bright across the timeline. Sidesteps Freeman. Bailey contested three. No. Bright with the rebound. Feeds it to Shank and she puts it home. And a timeout called by Luers. That's their last one. It's going to be a 30-second timeout. And for Bailey, she's now up to 5 points in the game. A big bucket there as we come toward the close of this one. Back and forth we go. New Haven's led almost all the way through this fourth quarter, but Luers has been able to keep it close. Both teams have played good, scrappy basketball all the way throughout. They're hustling after steals, hustling after loose balls, trying to make sure they don't waste any opportunities. That's certainly a good quality, especially with 1:01 to play in what is now a one-possession game. Now, they've definitely gone final at Carroll. Carroll won that game. We'll try to get you the official final score as soon as we can. Lob up the floor for Nard. Nard across the timeline. Looked like she drew some contact. No foul call. Bright with the rebound. She feeds it up the floor to Parent. Has a chance. Couldn't put it home. And a very late foul call. I think they're going to get Williams. The only thing I can think of is maybe she got her on the arm, and they do get Williams for the foul. So Parent will be going to the free throw line. And Parent's free throw is good. We got a 2-point game. Second one also good, make it a 1-point game. That's 14 points for Parent. Full court pressure by the Knights. Bulldogs are able to beat that press. Pass is knocked away. Battle for it on the floor. Who's got it? A jump ball would give it to Luers. And I think they are saying it's a jump ball. Possession arrow to the Knights. One official is signaling Luers basketball. I never saw a signal for a jump ball, but the official did signal that it was Luers basketball. So it certainly looks as though it's a jump ball, possession arrow to Luers. And you can see it on your screen. That's Anna Parent along with Janiah Brighton. Parent looked to be a little bit hobbled there. Now that timeout leaves New Haven with just one left. Actually, they have one left, and so does Luers. Each has one timeout apiece, and Bishop Luers has a chance here to take the lead. In the meantime, we'll be right back after 30 seconds on Summit City Sports.
Sports Club, Fort Wayne's premier multi-sport facility and home to Empowered Volleyball Academy. With the deepest and most experienced coaching staff in the region, we have had a 100% college recruiting success rate for the last 6 years. Be sure to register for upcoming tryouts at our regular location and our new satellite program, Empowered OBC. If you're looking for a place where you can not only play volleyball, but call home, look no further than Empowered.
Luers ball. They're down by one here at New Haven. Bright waits for the screen, gets one from Addie Shank. She wanted to feed it back outside to Sweeney. That pass stolen away right along the baseline. Wade stayed in bounds the whole way, and then she gets fouled right after the steal. Tamara Wade creating the turnover. It's only the fourth team foul on Luers, rather the fifth team foul, but either way, no free throws just yet. So the Bulldogs will have to inbound the ball one more time. Perhaps another. Luers still has one foul to give. Inbound goes to Wade. She races across the floor, and there's that final foul to give. That's going to be on Bright. So now the next foul will put New Haven at the free throw line. However, if Luers does put New Haven at the free throw line, they'll have a chance to tie or perhaps take the lead depending on what happens with the free throws. Nard gets it in. Loose ball right into the hands of Parent. Well, she's been going after steals. That one came all too easy for her. But that one goes off the hands. I thought it went off the hands of Shank. They're going to say last touch by New Haven. The official was right on it, though. And Luers is going to get the possession, and they could hold for the final shot here. You don't have a shot clock to worry about, and there's 19.6 seconds. Sweeney, tough shot. That's an air ball. Parent reaches for the board. No foul call. She missed the shot. And then a foul called against Luers. That's going to lead to free throws. 1-and-1 situation. They call the foul on Parent. Only her second foul of the game. Now, it's a time where you almost had to foul because you're down one, and even if Nard makes these free throws, Luers gets the ball back with a chance to tie. Nard's free throw is no good. Sweeney with the rebound. Here comes Perrin up the floor. Down under 10 seconds to play. She feeds it off to Bright. Bright goes back outside. Loose ball, and it gets away. But it was tipped by New Haven. It's going to stay with Luers, and Mark Pixley calls a timeout. I beg your pardon, it's not timeout New Haven, it's timeout Luers. My goodness, the ball is getting knocked around one time after another. And Luers once again gets the possession because of the tip ball. And they will have a chance to win it at the buzzer. But only 3.3 seconds to go. They're not going to have a whole lot of time. Now, Luers has a game against Carroll. That's a home game coming up this Saturday. New Haven has a game against Leo coming up on Friday. If New Haven holds on to win this game and then beats Leo on Friday, they'll have an even 500 record, 7-7. They've already topped their win total from a year ago. They only won 4 last year. They've won 5 this year. Luers, they're trying to even their record tonight at 7-7. You definitely don't want to be below 500 when Carroll comes to town. 42-41 your score, and Luers just about to break huddle. They've only got 3.3 left to play. Hannah Sweeney's going to put it in play. She's got Bright there on the opposite side of the timeline. But again, you've only got 3.3 seconds to work with. If this pass doesn't make it across the timeline, whoever catches got to hurry. They get it to Perrin. Is that traveling? They don't call it. The clock started late. That 3 ball is off the mark, and it's over. New Haven has won. Down to the wire we go. And New Haven holds on for the victory, 42-41 in a back-and-forth game. They beat New Haven. Or rather, they beat Luers. New Haven, your winner, 42-41 over Bishop Luers in this SAC versus NE8 matchup. New Haven goes to 6-7 on the season. Bishop Luers will fall to 6-8. We'll take a look and show you just how it ended. And I tell you what, Anna Parrott came awful close to traveling here. Yeah, that looks like 2 steps, but Bailey got the shot off. They actually started the clock late. And the battle for the rebound allows all of that time to tick off the clock, and New Haven celebrates a victory. 42-41 your final. That replay, as with all our replays, was brought to you by Traction Athletic Performance. Well, look at our top scorers for the night. Top scorer for New Haven was Avarcia Nard with 12 points, although Shania Freeman also had 12. She hit 4 threes in the game. Janiah Johnson with 7, Kayla Williams with 6, and Kaylin Ortiz-Vaught with 3. For Bishop Luers, their top scorer was Anna Parent. She went on to score 14 points in the game. Janiah Bright with 7, Jayla Fikes with 9, Addie Shank with 5, and Delana Bailey with 4. Well, for our Parkview Sports Medicine Player of the Game, that's going to be awarded to Avarcia Nard. Not only did she score 12 points, but she also played tough. She played through what looked like to be some injuries, maybe some shoulder injuries. Looks like she fell hard on her jaw earlier in the game as well, but she fought through it. She gets 12 points, hit some big shots for the Bulldogs. So Avarcia Nard is our Parkview Sports Medicine Player of the Game. That's going to do it from here at New Haven High School. For my camera operator, Thomas Nolan, this is Thad Goff saying so long from New Haven. New Haven beats Bishop Luers 42-41. You've been watching girls high school basketball on SummitCitySports.com.
Sports Club, Fort Wayne's premier multi-sport facility and home to Empowered Volleyball Academy. With the deepest and most experienced coaching staff in the region, we have had a 100% college recruiting success rate for the last 6 years. Be sure to register for upcoming tryouts at our regular location and our new satellite program, Empowered OVC. If you're looking for a place where you can not only play volleyball, but call home, look no further than Empowered.